the things that shout very loud are usually not the highest quality of items.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I think this comes from people who've been inspired to start wearing t-shirts because Mark Zuckerberg anavanga t-shirt na jeans.
Okay, so first of all, wewe si Mark Zuckerberg. Secondly,
hey, manze, asante sana for joining us for another classic episode of the Wicked Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. We have a great show lined up for you, but first, please allow me to show you something before we start. Kuna hii video nilikutana nayo kwa Twitter. Ilikuwa shared by Cyprian Nyakundi. In the context of church, actually, women have always been on the receiving end about how Eve, Eve, Mrs. Adams, how she handled the forbidden fruit. Sasa kuna hii video how dramatic a man handled a fruit in the presence of the Lord.
Whatever you are doing over there which is not bearing fruit, now with this fruit it will begin to bear fruit. Look.
Which brethren, what is happening to the gentleman? The moment he got this fruit.
Stop in Jesus' name.
Imagine if that's how you had to find out mzai wako anajua karate, mazi. Mazi. Hata kama wasi wanatafuta nini, unajua watu wako sure kama by the new amini hizi vitu ni spirits by the. No, seriously. Amwamini hizi story ni legit. Ni content creation. Hiyo kwanza hata si karate, hiyo ni Krav Maga. Now, I know the video is independently funny, but sijui kwa nini ilinishika beyond. Maybe it's because machungwa is the last fruit nili imagine mubabas anaweza pewa changamke hiyo design. Now we have so much to cover. Since the last time we had a monologue on the show, the Africa Climate Summit just ended, and one of the highlights has to be President Ruto driving himself in an electric vehicle from State House to KICC. Maze. Those who doubted President Ruto when he said he is in charge. Video ndio hii. Alafu aswali make sure amepiga tu video ya karibu. Hakukuwa na drone shots kwa hiyo video. Jua sawa yujua ningekuuliza manzi sawa na sindikiza kandizi na makarao. But then as in that is the true show of power. On a serious note, lakini that was symbolic and a show of solidarity with clean energy during the Africa Climate Summit. Alafu Honorable Peter Salasia juu hiyo story alikuwa deep fried for days. Juu hii interview.
Mheshimiwa, welcome to SPM Bus. Maybe you can tell us what is happening today at KICC. We, as we all aware, is that it's climate change, yeah, right? Because you feel like, by the way, climate change is real because of the global warming. I think I was in Mombasa last week, and it was so cold. So I asked them, what's happening?
I think wase wana hate, but personally na feel Salasi ako tu sawa. Ana understand chenye anasema. Unaget? Anajua climate change, desert. Alafu Kenyans nyi pia mnakuanga na double standard sana. Cause si nyi ndio mnasemanga Salasi ni ule mzee wa the gods must be crazy. Na akianza kuambia anaelewa kwa sababu kumekauka na ni mzee wa desert, amtaki kuamini. Msema mko na hasira mob sana mazee. Aliingizwa kwa kuni. I feel he had an idea of what he was talking about, and he knows what climate change is. Alafu kama kuna mtu anajua na anaweza kuwa anaelewa madhara ya kukata miti ni Mhesh vile nimesema. Personally, mimi nilijua climate change is real when the Africa Climate Change Summit ilifanya Wakenya wa move on from ile story ya mambo ni matatu to Peter Salasia. And by the way, President Ruto has been sued by the Operation Linda Jamii crew, our organization, because they want the head of state to withdraw that statement and apologize ama prepare for impeachment. Ni kama amwambia yeye kwake mambo ni mawili. And then the president amekuwa na hiyo statement yake. In fact alisema tena kwa climate change conference na bado akaambia wezi wa ng'ombe hivyo.
Kama wewe ni mwizi ya ng'ombe, mambo ni matatu. Uhame Kenya, uende jela, ama usafiri uende mbinguni. Hakuna maneno mengine. Lakini maneno hapa ya kuzungukana hapa ati utalete hiyo kizirani hakuna. It's as simple as that.
kama kila mwizi anaambiwa aende mbinguni, sisi huko wapoa ndio nini? Una understand? Like maze mtu ama mbinguni inakuanga kuimba ama kuiba milele, unajua? Maze alafu kumbe hiyo siku president alimekio speech ya the first time he made your speech ya mambo ni matatu, mlihata the juiciest part where the president finished his speech haraka to save marriages.
Kwa sababu imekuwa jioni, si ndio? Na mimi sitaki mtu bibi ya mtu atoke hapa alafu asemekane alikuwa kwa mkutano yangu alafu mambo ikafanyika. So wacha nimalize haraka.
Rigiji pia amekaa na story yake ya mambo ni matatu. Mmeona ya Rigiji?
And I say this year 2023 mambo ni gapi? Kahawa, majani chai na maziwa.
Show ya leo maze ni moto sana. Show ya leo tu nikali. Our guest for this episode qualified a very interesting statement when I first met him kwa video shoot ya Juliani. The video is set to come out soon. Simpigie makofi Vixen. Manze, amekuja kumake sure kila mtu amedunga vile inafaa, and he had a very interesting slogan that there's a difference between dressing up and putting on clothes. Episode leo itatushow mahali, itakushow we personally mahali unachezea, because Thomas Kaberi is in the house. Maze, asante. We'll be talking to him in a bit, but kwanza the Kenya police wameongezwa mshahara as promised, but not as much as expected. Junior police officers wameongezwa salo ya 1,000. Mmesikia? Maze, which I think is heartbreaking. How does the government hope to fight corruption kama wao ndio wanapea polisi kitu kidogo? And speaking of the disciplined forces, KDF wamefanya recruitment juzi, and you know the exercise where they conduct every once in a while to separate the boys from men, girls from brave women. Na hakuna kitu imenibamba kwa hiyo recruitment ya this time kama explanation ya kwa nini mtu hawezi join KDF kama wewe ni stammerer.
Someone else is asking, why don't you recruit people who stammer? I'm getting all kinds of questions here.
Again, this is very competitive.
Yes.
And, you know, people who stammer, they don't do it out of volition. But again, it's competitive. And again, also, Jeff, the kind of, this is a career. It's not a job like any other. It requires very good communication, if that were possible. Okay. If that is not manageable, if the stammering is such that it cannot be managed, then that means, and I have to, you know, instruct you to do something, then I think you ought to be a good communicator with all due respect.
Mimi hujua jeshi ni vita mazi. Jeshi ni vita. Jeshi mtu mnakosaje kupea stammerer job? Mimi siko convinced. Mnakosaje kupea stammerer job? Kwani anaenda kuongea na maadui? Unajua? Come to think of it, unajua kama ni makarao wanasema hawezi employ wase ni stammerer, unaweza understand. Juu unaweza kuwa offensive ukikutana na karao stammerer, alafu mwambie afande watu ni kuongea. Unajua? Manze, mimi sijakuwa convinced na hiyo point ya good communicator unless mimi peke yangu nimeishi kujua orders kwa parade ya jeshi utolewa na stammerers. Amwezi tuambia stammerer hawezi fanya hivyo. Alafu pia Meru governor, mazee wa Meru mazee. Governor wenu anapenda hazi yake. Meru governor Kawira Mwangaza was recently on the spot again for naming a road after her husband Murega Baisho. Mumesikia story? Governor, nimetembelea bwana yako. Ni barabara. Bibi yake analala, bwana yake analala nje kama barabara. I don't know. What's the problem? What's the problem na wase wa Meru as in kama anapenda hazi yake? And I think I checked her Facebook page. Hii story ilitoka news from her Facebook page na wase walikuwa wanasema wanaenda inaitwaje ati amelaunch. Watu wamefocus tu na amelaunch barabara na amename after hazi yake, na she has very many other projects. Hiyo ni mingi tu achievements zake kwa barabara. Si kwa barabara, hiyo post achievements zake. Sasa hiyo moja ndio wase wanakimbia nayo. Kuna pia story ya kuna Prado ilianguka kwa ditch, alafu makarao wakienda kuangalia wakapata iko na bangi ya 9.5 million. alafu wameandika hapo Prado ni high end car. As in, I know that's a low blow, but I think that's a story ni developing bado. We'll bring you more when you know about that, kwa sababu tunafaa tushikanishe na story ya Mathe Wangara. Otherwise, we have a great show lined up for you. Don't want to miss the vibes for anything. See you on the other end of this short commercial break. Yeah, maze, welcome back to the Wicked Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Episode ya leo, acha nianze na summary yake ni there's a difference between dressing up and putting on clothes. So my experience is, and I know mumai kutana nayo, umai kutana na msee alafu akafanya ufili kama uko uchi. Na ulikuwa umepiga luku yako moto kabisa, si ndio? Haya. So nilikuwa by the way, kwanza hebu nipigieni makofi. Mimi ni Vixen kwa ngoma ya Juliani mazi. Man, good vibes. Juliani alini invite kwa ngoma yake inaitwa Total Man. I believe the video should be coming out soon. So nikaenda nikapiga. Ushaona nilikuwa na luku fulani na kuanga nimeset. Najua hiyo ni ya event. Basi sasa Juliani amenicall, nikasema nitaenda nayo kwa hiyo event. So nitaenda nayo kwa shughuli ya Juliani. Alafu nikakutana na guest wetu wa leo, akatoanisha hizo vitu zote nilikuwa nimevaa, akanivalisha vitu zake. But the sad thing, kitu ilinibo ni ati I agreed with him. Thomas Kaberi is in the house. Karibu sana.
Thanks for having me.
Karibu. Thank you for making time for us.
Anytime.
Difference between dressing up and putting on clothes.
Yeah.
Na after your statement ulisindikiza na matusi. Ukasema that's the difference between Congolese and the Sudanese.
Mimi sikusema hizo vitu. Mimi napenda kutravel. Kwa hivyo nataka kuongea na wase about wase countries zao poa.
Sawa, basi ni mimi nilisema.
Wewe ndio ulisema hiyo story sio mimi.
What's the difference between dressing up and putting on clothes?
One word, intentionality. So you have to be intentional about zile vitu unavaa.
The intention is not to be naked. What are the intention?
Yeah. You have to, kuna ile book inaitwa Begin with Why, right? You have to think about why are you putting on what you're putting on.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the message you want to pass along? Kwa sababu dress code ni code. Vile watu wanasema ni code.
Yes.
It is a code that's sending a message. And whether you like it or not, people are receiving that code and interpreting it in very many different ways. Okay. So the difference between putting on clothes and dressing up is that intentionality of being deliberate about the message you want to send with your dress code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wote unavaa lazima uko una send message to who?
Actually, it's not just at the point unavaa, kwa sababu ikifika hiyo point yenye unavaa, it's a bit too late. Yeah, kwa sababu you should be intentional even around your wardrobe. Wakati unanunua nguo, you should be intentional about hiki kitu ninanunua ndio nifanye nini nayo. You understand? Yeah? Sisi wote tulikuwaga na zile kabati za wageni. Unakumbuka zile vile vyombo za wageni?
Nguo za Sunday.
Yeah, na nguo za Sunday. So those people when they are ukibuy dish set kwa hao yako, you're always thinking about hii plate school end up ina buy ndio school enda kwenda wageni ni wasafu. Na si wageni wote, unajua kuna, you understand? Wageni, kuna zile plates zenye unabuy, unajua ina buy juu mtoi wangu ataweza fumble nayo, itaweza anguka anytime. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio ina decide zile qualities una consider kubuy kitu. The same thing with our dressing. Okay. So at the point of building a wardrobe, that's where intentionality starts. Kwa sababu kama ni asubuhi unaenda job, unajua they say that mademo akisema I don't have anything to wear, na majamaa akisema I don't have anything to wear, they mean two different things. Mademo akisema ati I don't have anything to wear, they mean I don't have anything new to wear.
Na machali ni amefua.
I don't have anything clean to wear. Wanna leave out your part. But by the time you're getting there, it means that there is an underlying issue. You are not deliberate about generally what you want to communicate with how you dress generally. Because it's also not about how you dress one day. It's also about how you consistently dress that people stitch the message together. Right? So, kuna wale majamaa unajuaga, huyu jamaa tu anakaga poa. Hata unakiulizwa kwa nini, you actually can't put a finger on it. Huyu jamaa anakaga poa. But those guys unajuaga, huyu jamaa anakuaga na viatu poa. Understand? Okay. So it's about that consistent. Ukimuuliza na jeans zake, baadhi hata sijaangalia jeans zake poa, lakini viatu zake ziko poa. Understand? So
viatu poa si viatu mpya.
But obviously viatu poa si viatu mpya.
Okay.
Na viatu poa si viatu expensive also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course kuna a direct correlation between things of high quality, they're likely to be pricier. But just because something is pricier does not mean it's high quality, because things can be expensive for very many different reasons, including the shop that you're selling them at. Yeah, so you can find the exact same product in different shops at different prices. But also it means that there are things also that are just expensive because of the brand. Does not mean the quality is high. It's just that whoever sells those shoes has invested in a brand, the brand of the shop, or the brand of the shoe, or the brand of so they mark up on the brand. But it does not necessarily mean that particular item is high quality. In fact, the things that shout very loud are usually not the highest quality of items.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I think this comes from people who've been inspired to start wearing t-shirts because Mark Zuckerberg anavanga t-shirt na jeans.
Okay, so first of all, wewe si Mark Zuckerberg. Secondly, Mark Zuckerberg is very intentional. When he puts on a t-shirt, he's very intentional in the sense that he's sending a certain message with the way he dresses up. So si ati ni nguo anakuwa amekosa. Hata hiyo story anatupeaga sijui ati I want to save time, sijui I don't want to decide what to wear. Hiyo ni story. The real reason is because he wants to send a message with the way he dresses, meaning that he wants to look like the guy next door because he runs a social network.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does. That's what he does. So he will wear.
I can't send a message with a t-shirt because I don't.
If he wears a suit and he runs a social network, it does not add up.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So he's very deliberate about how he dresses.
Okay.
So and you will see he just wants to be like the simple guy next door. That's the message he's sending. I'm just your guy.
You mentioned dress code.
Yeah.
And part of what you mentioned as dress code is the reason why rich people wakisalimiana hivi they pat someone on the back ni kusikia kama you are wearing a cheap suit. As in
I never said that, but I think I hear what you're saying. The idea of like fabrics is like a very strong code in what you wear.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So in fact, if you're big on dressing up, you should think about three things when you're dressing up: fabric, fit, and function of whatever you're wearing.
Fabric, fit, and
Function, especially
mambo
for
ni matatu.
yeah. So mambo ni matatu. Fabric, fit, and function. So what that means, first of all, think about the function. Like, of course, you could be going to a function, so you think about the actual function that you're going to. But also, you could think about, why am I wearing these clothes? The why is very important. Just the way you think about, if I'm going to a shamba, I wear an overall and gumboots, right? And that's the function of that overall. That informs the fabric of that overall, right?
Yes.
It even informs the fit of that overall. Because huwezi enda uko na skin tight na unaenda kulima. You understand? Even if it's an overall, huwezi kuwa tight ati ulipeleka kwa fundi akafinya.
Hakunanga overall fitting?
Hizo tu za music video.
Okay.
Si za shamba. Yeah. So the exact same thing you can apply to how you dress.
I would like us to do a more practical bit. We have a few volunteers from our audience. Wakuje, tuangalie, first of all, the crimes they are guilty of, fashion-wise. So we'll do this real quick. Tuharakishe. Our volunteers, them volunteers wakuje, please judge my expertise in terms of looking at someone and throwing a first impression.
Yes.
This is Godi. Looking at Godi, I would judge this look as someone who does not believe in marriage.
What?
How accurate is my observation?
But that's a big one. So the idea is not to, first of all, classifying people in big groups is quite dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah. To just decide everything about a person based on one thing. Yeah. So that's just actually dangerous, and it's a mistake that a lot of people do even when they're dressing up. They think that if I wear this jacket, or if I wear these shoes, or if I wear this trouser, it will compensate. You understand? So the idea is to make sure that it is the whole consistent look. It's not one particular item that makes or breaks. It is that consistent look and what each piece does for the whole look.
As in, you can look at him. Let's say if you meet him tomorrow, there's something about how he dresses that unasema. If you meet him, akiwa amechange kidogo, you'll be like, hizo nguo hazikukai. That's what you mean. Ama this is your style. There's elements that still stick with every day.
Yeah,
That
so
your brand, how you present yourself.
Yeah, so consistently, a lot has to do with patterns and colors, by the way.
Okay.
So there, you find there are certain people who like very, like myself, for example, plain or striped or simple patterns. It's either plain or striped or checked, just very simple patterns. There are people, and if you look at them, they look like, you can see them from the moon.
Yes, yes,
Yeah?
yes.
They have multiple colors. There's a certain governor, used to be of a certain big city, I want to mention his name.
Yes.
Like you can see him from the moon, yeah, the way he dresses, yeah, and that's just his style, yeah. But and maybe that style is deliberate because it probably speaks to people like he wants to talk to.
Yes.
I don't know, but that is just a style he has decided to, and he has been so consistent that he probably, if you probably see him in a suit and a tie, it's like he has broken his pattern.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Aya. Sawa sawa. Osingo mwenye yako hapa, looking at him again, judge my expertise. He looks like someone who knows nothing about climate change. Expert opinion.
So let's have a conversation because like sometimes I feel like styling and how people put their look together is such a serious item, is such a serious topic, and it's very, very important.
Yes.
And the temptation is to do exactly what we're trying to do here, to just take one look at a person and try to cast that as the typical thing. If you do that, you're not really helping the person because until people understand the basics and how everything comes together, it really doesn't help them to grow because it's a growth item. Remember I've said, how you dress up, yes, is a representation of even how you think and you feel, but it's not your identity. It's not you. Vile watu wanasemaga mimi ni jamaa wa masuti, mimi ni mse wa jeans. Unaelewa? Mimi ni demo ama huyo anasema yeye ni demo wa maskats, avaagi hizi vitu. Ama mimi ni mtu hizi vitu siwezi vaa hiyo kitu.
Okay.
If wearing that other thing will help your agenda for a certain period of time, why not? You understand? So the idea is to make sure that you're being deliberate and deciding that if I put on this thing, it will serve my purpose better. You understand? You can say mimi si mse wa overall. Sasa ukienda garage, utavaa suti yako. Hauwezi, si ndio?
Okay.
Yes, you understand? You can say mimi si mse wa gambut. Siku ile utaenda mashamba yako, utafanya nini? Na umeshamwe si mse wa gambut. The idea is to make sure that you're not wrapping your identity around how you dress. First of all, that frees your mind to be open to the ideas of being pragmatic and being practical.
Okay. Wapi makofi ya Thomas? Thank you. Asante sana. Wapi makofi ya volunteers wetu? Asante sana. Mnaweza pata nafasi. Tom, hawezi tutransformia mse mmoja hapa na accessories vile ulinifanyia ile time.
So acha tuanze na wewe kwanza hapa.
Yes. Oh.
Nilikuambia Kings, just because uko na hizo vifungo zote si lazima uzifunge.
Yes.
So this one should be like
aka kama mwisho kufika kufunga.
Si ya kufunga.
So unaweza katoa.
Au usitoe just because fundi aliweka hapo. Si lazima uitumie.
Yes.
Alafu hizi tai.
So unatafuta makosa.
Sitafuti makosa. Makosa iko, si ati ninatafuta.
Toa makosa, si ndio? Mbona mpaka amekosa buttons to press aka undress button yangu moja.
So tuone.
Transform. Iko sawa. It's okay.
Tunajua ni Rolodex.
Ati Rolodex.
So Kings,
Yes.
I can see why you are doing yellow and blue, lakini pia ndeza kusaidia kidogo tu. Sasa kusaidia hapo kidogo tu. So you can take other options of like trying to like accessorize what you do. In the sense that wait a minute.
Tom, hii ni tie ama ni bed sheet?
Sasa tutatoa mic tufanye nini? Yeah. So the idea first of all nilikushow. Hii tie ukiekelea tu hapa inakushow. Unaona kama hii contrast ni poa ama nini? Inakaje? Wewe angalia, wewe ndio una judge.
Mnaiona hata?
Inakaje? Nyesha huko. How do you like it, this contrast?
I don't even look at the contrast. I look
do you like what you see?
The wideness.
Yeah, okay. Actually, that's a really good point when it comes to ties.
Yes.
What happens is with ties, the width of your lapel should largely match the width of your tie. Yeah? This
okay.
lapel here.
Hii unono ya hapa inafaa ikuwe na unono ya.
Ukivaa slim na aka kakwe slim kidogo. Yes, tie sky ni kama imejaa hapa na aka kakitumka slim. So that's what I told. Asymmetry and harmony is like really important. Yeah. So the other thing also is to make sure that by the way, you should never match your pocket square to your
tie.
Never.
Are you
Okay,
saying
let me
that
not say
because
never.
that's the rule, ama because you did not have a matching pocket square?
Because that's the rule. Just because you bought them together, you don't wear it. I know when you buy a tie and a pocket square, you can get a set, but they are not socks.
Okay.
Yeah, it does not mean, because remember we talked about accessories, right?
Yes, yes.
So that means that this pocket square is supposed to like accessorize your look. Understand? And if you're going for, as we say, the simpler the look, the more timeless it is.
Sawa.
Yeah.
Hakuna makosa
Huwezi
ingine
kuwa na
unaona?
accessory ingine. Si makosa, mbona unasema ni makosa? Yes. Wakati ulitoka kwako kama umevaa hivi, si ulikuwa unasikia poa?
Wapi makofi ya Thomas? Asante sana. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.